Hey guys, so a great question that always come up is, what's a good buy and hold strategy for new beginners, especially coming into the real estate business? And I got that perfect strategy set up for you. Now, it's a traditional way of doing things and you have other ways of doing it, but this is one way that you could keep doing it over and over again and repeat the process. My name is George McPherson. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a coach. I also have rental properties. I've done fix and flips. I have Airbnbs. I've also done JVs and a little bit of hard money lending. So I have a little bit of experience when it comes to this. Now, I've done this strategy before, which is called the BRRRR strategy, or the B4R, which is what I like to call it, which is you buy a property, right? And then you go ahead and you fix that property up. So rehab the property. And then afterwards, you get a tenant in that property. So you're gonna rent that property out, you refinance, and then you repeat the whole process. Now, I wanna go through this a little bit with you guys because some people could get stuck when it comes to the refinance process. So I wanna go over that a little bit in depth with especially the beginners. Now, when you buy the property, you wanna make sure you purchase the property right. And you have to think, for me, I would say think with the end in mind, because even though you would like to repeat the whole process, which that's the last part, the refinance process is where you're really gonna get the more challenges that comes up. So when you buy that property, you want to make sure that you buy the property in the right form to begin with. What do I mean by that? I have previous videos that shows how you could buy rental properties, so maybe you could check that out as well. But what I always suggest is that you buy the property at a very discounted rate. Now, 70% is what I always go for, and with 70%, that means that I'm in total with my rehab, with my total cost out the door, it's 70%. So I buy the property, I fix it up, and everything that comes up, I'm in at 70%. That way, when I come out of the property, when the whole property and project is done, then I'm in it with 30% equity right off the jump. Now, not every property is like that, but you would like to get that ballpark in every single property you do. And the deals are out there, so don't let people discourage you and say, well, I can't find properties like that, so good luck you finding properties. You have to go in and do the work. Now, when you're buying that property, you want to make sure you buy it right. So you want to get in the whole project at 70%. Once you're done with the rehab process, you should already have a renter in place, because while you're doing the rehab, you should already have a sign, or you should have something up on Zillow somewhere advertising the property coming soon for rent. So it's not gonna be sitting on the market for weeks or a month trying to get the property done. You have people come in while it's being fixed and saying, listen, I have this great rental property that is about to be on the market. Would you like to rent it before it's even ready? So once you get the renter in, the thing is, normally a rehab will take anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes pushing it, because you know, contractors, there's hiccups and all that stuff. There's always going to be surprises, guys. So put an extra 2 weeks, you're talking about 10 weeks. So even if we push it out 3 months, right, and you have your tenant in place at 3 months, the trouble is that a lot of banks won't refinance your property 3 months afterwards. So this is where the new beginners come in and they say, oh my God, I just have this property and now I took a hard money loan out and now I'm paying all this interest and it's hitting me hard. Now you have to bear in mind, once you get your tenant in, the best time to refinance your property is gonna be 6 months or after 6 months. I will say really a year. So you wanna make sure that when you buy that property, you can your rent that you're getting is gonna be cash flowing off after all your expenses with your hard money loan in place. So one of your main challenges is gonna be to refinance the property. Most of their hard money loan are gonna be 12-month loan. So you have to turn that property, or sometimes 18 months. So you have to turn that property over into another loan before then, or else you're gonna get hit with charges and late fees and all kind of stuff that's gonna be added on to that while you're going in. So you wanna make sure that you line up everything properly. And that's where beginners get in a hole or in a crunch, because when you go to refinance that property 3 months afterwards, because you're excited, you got you bought the property, you rehab the property, now you have it rented, you say the next process is, let me go ahead and refinance the property, and 3 months in you go to the bank and they said, well, we won't refinance the property. Or some banks will actually refinance it, but they'll say, well, you only own the property for 3 months, so how much did you purchase the property for? and they'll give you what you actually purchased the property for and not what the property is actually worth. So they won't go off the ARV value, they'll go off of how much you put in that property. And trust me, they're not gonna give you everything that you put in that property. They're gonna give you a percentage of what you put in. So say for instance, you put 70 grand in that property, they're only gonna give you 75 or 80% depending on the bank you're going to. So those are the things that you're gonna have to make sure you cover when you're doing a deal. That's why I say think with the end in mind, because of the fact that you're gonna run into those issues as a beginner if you don't know them up front. So hopefully this video makes sense. Hopefully this video is useful to you guys, so you're prepared when you're doing this process. You already know what the challenges you may face is. So if you find this information valuable, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you would like to see in upcoming videos. All right guys, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.